Welcome. Your presenters today for the Roman Catholic Inquisition are Jacqueline, Kelsey, and Parker. Something to consider during this presentation is, would you rather conform to a religion other than what you believe in, or end your current lifestyle and possibly end your life altogether? Some of the life-changing events we will discuss in our presentation for Roman Catholic Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition, include the purpose and reasoning behind censoring and banning Bibles of other religions. Over many hundreds of years, this event called the Inquisition took place in a few geographical locations, but the main one we will be discussing is the Inquisition that took place in Spain during the 15 to 1700s. One source discusses how the information being censored were books or Bibles, as some like to call them. It was basically a conversion to Catholicism by censoring other religions or their beliefs, as per Tofino. Leaders of the church had come together and appointed specific people who were able to print copies of the approved information. They had also went to those they knew had other versions of Bibles, demanded they give them up, and set fire in the middle of the street in order to prove their point. The motivation for the Inquisition was to protect the Roman Catholic Church from heresy. During this time, there was a heretic movement that was against the Roman Catholic reform. According to one source, the practice used by inquisitors was to elicit a confession of heresy or force a witness to give evidence, were well known at that time, as per Purvis. Their main job was to locate and prosecute anyone who went against the Catholic Church. Some of the methods used to enforce the Inquisition were public trials. In one article, it mentions if one was found guilty of heresy, the sentence could range from public humiliation, loss of rights, burning at the stake, and beheading, as per Stock. During this time, there was public burnings and public hangings of heretics that were ordered by authorities. These trials and persecutions were purposely held in public to frighten onlookers and show what could be one's fate. The term Inquisition itself comes from a Latin verb inquiry, which means to inquire, as per Rademacher. And that's exactly what they did. The church sought out anyone who was against their beliefs in order to have the perfect society. The perfect society to them was for everyone to conform to the concept of the Roman Catholic Church. If one did not conform, they were seen as a traitor to the church and would be prosecuted. Laws were formed for treason to reinforce the ideals of the Inquisition. The church wanted complete control over the public and their beliefs. During this era, reports against others for being heretics were taken at face value. Once arrested, they had their land taken, confiscated, and possessions inventoried, as per Monter William. Over 40,000 people were arrested, with charges ranging from sodomy to witchcraft, as per de Oliveira. However, blasphemy was the most frequent charge. In order to destroy all outside culture, Spain produced indexes of banned books. To avoid being seen as a heretic, authors would self-censor their work. This is bad because the scope of literature available became very small and it wouldn't allow authors to be able to fully express their thoughts. This was also bad from a reader's perspective too, as they were being restricted to a certain type of content. In another article by an author of the name of Martin Nesvig, said that during the 1500s, the Spanish Inquisition spread to New Spain, which is what we consider Mexico and Central America. As per Nesvig, they had men who would wander around searching for those who went against the policies set forth. Once found, they would confiscate and destroy whatever they had removed. Mr. Nesvig implied that there were two levels that were in control. Quote, the crown controlled the initial printing licenses, but the Inquisition could censor anything after that initial approval, even if the crown had authorized its publication, end quote. He had also stated, quote, censorship as a tool of control was a haphazard and ad hoc rather than complete and effective, end quote. The effects of censorship are almost always detrimental, and it is likely to impede the growth of a society. In the case of the Spanish Inquisition, censorship affected the lifestyle of everyone, even those who weren't religious. Arguably, the biggest effect in the Inquisition was its influence on free thought. As one Spanish in exile said, quote, our country is a land of barbarism. Down there one cannot produce any culture without being suspected of heresy, error, and Judaism. Thus silence was imposed on the learned, end quote. And that was as per Johnson. Concluding, in Fahrenheit 451, the authorized adaptation, Tim Hamilton informed the readers that during this time frame, books were prohibited, therefore censoring the people from having that escape, as per Hamilton. The firefighters in the stories actually did not fight fires. They set fire to those houses who contained books in order to ensure the people abide by their law. During the Spanish Inquisition, not all books were banned, but one author gave a list of books that were banned in New Spain, which included, quote, every type of hours in Spanish, small hours called Crown of Our Lady, various manuals of conscience, bouquet of spiritual flowers, all letters and gospels in Spanish, all letters and gospels in Indian vernacular languages, papal history, end quote, as per Nesvig. Fahrenheit 451, both the novel and the graphic novel, were eye-opening in one simple way. Most people fail to realize what is actually going on around them. These events have happened all over the world and in many different time periods, and I can almost guarantee you that they will happen yet again. The Inquisition was a time in which the Catholic religion believed that they should be the only religion, so they tried to convert others. If they did not abide, death could be brought to them. Think about it. When is it ever okay to censor someone simply for the fact of opposing views? Thank you all for your time and your patience. Here's our list of our works cited.